What's up, guys? Concurrent Flame here with an unboxing of the MSI KRAIT Gaming Z370 motherboard. It is a gaming motherboard with RGB lighting support, and gaming is not a gimmick because it does support overclocking. And if you buy a normal motherboard, you won't get overclocking features, or at least components won't be made to survive them. So this does support DDR4 RAM, and only DDR4 RAM, steel-plated PCIe ports. Let's see, M.2 SSD slots. I see 2 of them. Yeah, there's 2 slots. Usually there's 3 on higher end boards, but and then there's they support up to 32 gigabytes per second. So that's really good. Mystic lighting extension. Oh yeah, RGB. If you're gonna use RGB, case lighting, whatever it is, plug it in there. That's the exact port you need. I'll show you on the board once we get it out. Audio boost, I would recommend a separate sound card, but it does have an audio right there. That's what the audio boost is, MSI's standard audio driver. So it does support RGB, like I said. Gaming LAN, it does support gigabit Ethernet, I checked. It does something with Intel gigabit, sorry about that. Military class, I mean, we've been doing that since 2012 anyway, with NVIDIA SLI support and AMD Crossfire, and it's VR ready. So let's get to the unboxing. Just move this down here. All right. So we obviously get the I/O plate, which is black and white, in case you're wondering. Oh, this is the RGB cable. Interesting. So the new motherboards come with the RGB extension cable, in case you needed that. So that would plug into your motherboard. That would plug into your this one would plug into your RGB controller or fan or pump or whatever you need. 2 SATA cables with angled. Then 2 more SATA cables. And surprisingly, a SLI bridge, a cheaper one, but it's definitely, I'll take that out of the packaging. Interesting. So it's they give you just an SLI bridge. This isn't even the SLI motherboard, is it? But it does support SLI, in case you're wondering. SLI is a different model they have. Right. So this is a plastic, it's not flexible like the Asus ones. However, I don't know if this is the high-speed SLI, like the ones you get, as good as the ones you get on the NVIDIA website, which cost like $100 or $200. I don't know. I don't know if that's required anymore. They were for like 2014 and whatnot, but this one will work. I'm not sure if it'll work at lower speeds or the same speeds as an NVIDIA one. Right. Disk, which is not useful. Then labeling and manual and other installation instructions. So I'll show you the motherboard and where the RGB controller goes. All right, let's take that out. This is a sort of mid-budget gaming motherboard, by the way. It costs $150, I believe. And first thing I notice about this motherboard is it feels very boxy in terms of like squares. Like I took this out and compared to every other motherboard I've held, which so far has been like 4 last year, this is very sort of protruding and whatnot. But this is something I've noticed they started doing, is this sort of plastic thing on the higher end or mid to high end gaming motherboards, and it gets bigger and turns into a shroud the more you pay for your motherboard. So this is the heatsink, but they cover it with whatever this is. I don't know, some kind of thermal shielding, just branding. So that's what they do now apparently with their mid-tier motherboards. They get a heatsink, a normal one, then they slap this on there with the logo. I think this is, I don't know if it's plastic or metal. I can't tell. And then this is the, I don't know, the memory controller maybe? Something. That's on every motherboard. It's very Oh yeah, it's just a heatsink with another metal sticker thing slapped on it. So the RGB port plugs in right here, JRGB1. You can plug in the extender there and whatnot. And then there's the audio boost chip I was talking about. Here are these SATA ports. They all look high speed. It doesn't say on the motherboard if there's any difference. So it would probably say in the manual, but they don't look sort of linked in any way. So they're probably all 6 gigabit. USB 3.0, motherboard power, RAM slots, CPU power. And lastly, I'm going to show you the ports. And they have a couple, I forgot what these are called, but these are for the CPU. So that's good. So you got your analog keyboard, mouse, but you can only use one keyboard or mouse. 2 USB 3.0 ports, or just 2.0, 2 USB 2.0 ports. DVI, and that's just the minus DVI, nothing else. 3.0 USB, probably for BIOS flashing as well. If I put the I/O plate on, it'll say that. USB-C, 3.0, 3.0, HDMI port, gigabit Ethernet, supported by Intel drivers, 2 more 3.0 ports, and then the audio driver with optic toslink. And so that's 7 USB ports, in case you're wondering, and that is military standard. And a USB-C port at the bottom, which I actually do use a lot now. So that's pretty much it for this unboxing. Thank you guys for watching, and subscribe if you want to.